for a particular patient is really dependent on what's going on with the patient when we're called in.
So your firm, did you say you take Medicare cards, or how does that work, and what kind of firm is it anyway?
Okay, so Medicare pays for 80% of our services. Regular, traditional red, white, and blue card Medicare pays for 80% of our services. And the private supplemental insurances usually cover the other 20%. But we always call ahead of time on the secondary or the supplemental insurances to find out what an estimate of out-of-pocket costs would be. We typically have a lot of trouble with these Medicare replacement plans and what they cover or what they don't, and what people think they cover and what they don't. Usually they're very disappointed to learn, that they have very high copays for our services or are not able to access our services at all. But with traditional Medicare and supplemental insurance, AARP plans, and some of those, usually the Plan Fs and a couple of the others are really good at covering everything else at 100%. So many times when we come in, there's no out-of-pocket cost at all for our services.
Wow.
If they have the dual insurance.
So did you say too, some of these Medicare Advantage plans aren't nearly as good as covering your services as these traditional ones?
Oh yes, I definitely said that loud and clear.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. It's really unfortunate because usually people think that they're getting the same type of coverage, but when they go to look at the specific services that it would cover, their out-of-pocket cost is almost always going to be higher. So the way I see it, you either pay the premium on the front end or you pay it as you need the services each and every time.
Well, I'm in California. How am I going to get my dad to see you?
So that's going to be the hard part, and that's always the individualized approach that we have to find out the answer to, because sometimes people are very willing to accept our services and talk with someone about how they've been feeling. Herschel may not be. He may say, well, I don't want any more people in my home and that kind of thing. And while Herschel is his own guardian, he can say that. He can decline my services if he wants to. Usually, patients are a little more willing if they don't have to pay out of pocket for my services. They're willing to try at least and see if there's something I can do to help them. But many times I do coordinate with the family and say, what approach do you think will work? Some families say, oh, well, you definitely can't tell them you're a social worker. You have to tell them you're a therapist. In other families, it's completely the opposite. So we try to take an individualized approach about, how we work with the family.